Hey guys, it's Jack, back at you with another truck talk because I've still got a long ass drive ahead of me. So in my last video I talked about politics. I got that out of the way, told you about my ideals and my opinions on the government and blah 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 blah. And honestly, as much as some people wanted to see it, I'll still post it, but it doesn't exactly make for entertaining video as far as I can tell. I didn't exactly have a lot of fun talking about it. You guys probably won't have a lot of fun listening to it unless you're really, really into the politics of the nation. So I decided to record another video for my long-ass drive home and talk about something a little bit more fun. I think I'm going to talk about Dungeons & Dragons, because I fucking love Dungeons & Dragons. I love playing Dungeons & Dragons. It's fucking fantastic. It's a good way to escape reality, live vicariously through your characters, and just have fun rolling dice. So my friends and I, we don't play the most recent edition of whatever D&D is. It's 5th edition? Something like that. We actually play a hodgepodge of 3.5 and Pathfinder. Here's hoping you guys know exactly what that means. We ditch some rules that we don't like confirming criticals, and how cleave works in Pathfinder for the melee characters and all that stuff. We're mostly just in it, some of us are in it for, rolling dice and crunching numbers. I'm in it for the roleplay. I don't want to say a semi-pro actor, because I'm not, but I'm also not an amateur. I guess I'm seasoned. I do a lot of stage productions and, things like that. I don't do musicals, though. I can sing, I can dance, and I can act, but I can't do all three at the same time. It just doesn't work for me. So I'm in it for the roleplay. I love the roleplay aspect. I've got a bunch of characters in my head that I would just love to try and play as. So, one of the things I don't like about D&D, I guess, comes from me being a video gamer. I don't really like how magic works in that game. I'm used to having a recharging mana bar. But in Pathfinder /D&D /whatever other tabletop role-playing game you happen to be doing, you have a certain amount of spells per day that you can do. And, I don't know, you have to be careful with your magic. You have to be incredibly careful to know what spells to use when, because you only have a limited number of them. I can see why they did it, because at about 6th level, wizards, sorcerers, clerics, and other magic users start getting really, really, really powerful. So a mage who could drop an unlimited amount of fireballs would be game-breaking for the system they have in place to actually, play the game and do the combat and stuff like that. I can see why they did it. I just don't necessarily like it. But it is what it is. Outside of that, though, I love playing the game. It's really fun, especially when you're drunk. Currently right now, I'm playing a character who I based off of Albert Wesker from the Resident Evil series, specifically Resident Evil 5. He's a combination monk and alchemist, and, that's all. Oh god, here's bumps. Here's hoping the camera doesn't fall over. Hold on, guys. Bumpy ass road. We got road construction going up in here. Almost to the end. God, yeah, the camera shifted. Good enough, whatever. So anyway, as I was saying, I'm playing a character based off of Resident Evil's Albert Wesker. And he's a combination monk and alchemist. So he's got the hand-to-hand combat down, plus he's got, the super virus that makes him godlike. Yeah, cool, I'm glad I figured that out, but I'm just having a blast being just an evil bastard playing the character. Lawful good, or lawful stupid, as we call it, can be fun sometimes, but I gotta say, man, evil's where it's at. Just being able to be the supervillain you've always wanted to be, it's a lot of fucking fun, man. In that same campaign, we made my friend Drengar roll dice to figure out what his character was, because Drengar can be indecisive when making a character sometimes. So he's been stuck playing, the class is a Skald. It's basically a barbarian bard combo. And He's some kind of catfolk race. I don't remember what the actual name is, but we just call him a Khajiit because, you know, Elder Scrolls. And, like, he's kind of enjoying the character. He figured he was going to die within, like, the first session. And we've been doing this campaign for probably almost half a year now. He's the only original party member left. Like, that cat just will not die. And it's getting to the point where he's had to have used up all of his 9 lives right now. There's no other excuse. But personally, I want that character to stick around because I like that character. But at the same time, the next character on his list is a halfling barbarian, which I think would be absolutely friggin' hilarious to see Drengar play. Like, I almost want to see that, and I'm almost considering being an evil bastard and just killing off the cat bard myself. But at the same time, he's the last surviving original party member. I mean, we've gone through probably, I think, 6 different characters now, for various reasons. Our first characters died because we ran across a rickety bridge and fell like a 180-foot drop into an ocean. Yeah, you're not... At level 3, you're not going to survive that, so, you know, that was pretty fucked up. My next character was a germaphobe, and he eventually blew himself up because he didn't see any way out of the situation. And then I had an orc barbarian who got bear hugged by a wraith, and there was no escaping from that either, so now I'm on the Wesker character. See how long he sticks around. And another of our other characters died because my wizard dropped a fireball on him. Okay, I was playing a lightning mage, and come to find out, this boss we were facing had invisibility and immunity to lightning. So I was sitting there shooting lightning bolts around the room, not knowing if I'm even hitting this thing or not. And our rogue decides to go in there and flush it out. The rogue got fucked. I saw the rogue get hit, and I'm like, okay, I know where the boss is. I've got this scroll of fireball. I'm going to use it. Maybe he'll survive. I was playing a Tefling, you know, I think Teflings have some kind of fire resistance. It wasn't enough. He died. I killed him. I felt bad about that. And then our next character died because, well, we were in a sawmill. We were in a room filled with sawdust, and she used her racial ability, Burning Hands. We all saw that go off. We all knew we were standing in, like, you know, a foot of sawdust. And the other 3 of us were just like, well, fuck. This place is coming down quick, so we all left. Sadly, she rolled bad on initiative, so before she could escape, it was the villain's turn, and we basically just left her to die. And even then, it turns out, because of some other stuff we saw in the room, like, I think it was like a bunch of blood soaking into the sawdust, that the sawdust wouldn't have actually caught fire because it was wet. So we fucked up there, and we left our samurai alone with this boss, who then proceeded to do an Ola bomber and basically blew himself up along with her and the rest of the sawmill. So, you know, that's completely fucked. Not sure where that's going to go. We haven't played that yet because one of our players is on vacation. It's down in Lower 48 for like some family reunion or something like that. So, what else is happening in our D&D world? Oh, I'm running a Star Wars campaign for the 3rd time. Because if there's anything I'm a bigger nerd for than Dungeons & Dragons, it's Star Wars. I might as well talk about my views on Star Wars Episode 7. A lot of hardcore old Star Wars fans hated it. I personally didn't. I mean, okay, spoiler alert ahead. I didn't see the death of Han Solo coming. I didn't think they would be that ballsy, that they would actually kill off someone who's possibly the single most beloved character in the Star Wars universe. They did. Good on them for being able to shock me after... I've watched Star Wars my entire life. That's almost 27 years of being a Star Wars nut. I didn't see that fucking coming. What do I think about Kylo Ren? Well, not exactly the best sword fighter. I think I know why, and I can answer this in Dungeons & Dragons terms. He's using his friggin' crossguard saber thingamabob. Looks cool as shit, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm pretty sure that qualifies as an exotic weapon. I'm gonna assume he did not take the exotic weapons proficiency feat while using that weapon. So he's already taking, like, I think a -4 on his dice roll, if you don't know Dungeons and Dragons terms. Taking a -4 every time he tries to use the weapon. And then there's the fact that he got a fairly good ass whooping off of a non-force using ex-stormtrooper and a completely untrained Jedi. Now, I think I can answer for some of that too. Okay, so Finn is an ex-stormtrooper. The Order's stormtroopers, from what I can tell, they've been trained to fight Jedi and kill Jedi and hunt Jedi down and capture them and all of that. Like, we saw that one scene where Finn was going at it with that other stormtrooper who was using, like, that electric tonfa thingamabob. They understand how to fight against lightsabers. Thereby, they should also know a little bit about how to fight with lightsabers. So that makes sense. Finn is drawing on his, stormtrooper training, going up against a guy who does not have an exotic weapons proficiency for his crossguard saber. So, and then there's Rey. A lot of people were like, what? How could Rey do that much damage, fighting against a Sith Lord or a Knight of Ren or whatever the hell Kylo Ren actually is? Well, look at it this way. Luke in Episode 4 was a complete badass. And he only had access to a little bit of his force power at the time, when he blew up the Death Star. I mean, Obi-Wan's ghost was there helping him out, use the Force, Luke, let's go, Luke. And he managed to blow up the friggin' Death Star while Vader was on his tail. So, I mean, that's just with a little bit of force power. Rey is powerful enough to pull off a full-blown Jedi mind trick by the end of the movie. She is way more powerful than Luke was at her age. So, I mean, she's probably some kind of chosen one. There was the whole, there was an awakening, have you felt it? Whatever. She's probably the next Anakin Skywalker. So, for her age and what she was trying to do, she's overpowered as shit. On that scale, I'm shocked she didn't just straight up whoop Kylo Ren's ass and behead him during that fight. But, they got a whole nother trilogy to do. And there's also a conspiracy theory floating around about what Kylo Ren's actually doing. Some people out there think that Kylo Ren is some kind of secret agent for the Jedi, trying to infiltrate the First Order and, get to Supreme Leader Snoke and kill him and whatnot. And that's why Han was I'll help you do what you need to do. And then Kylo Ren kills him. And, Han was it's okay at the end. Yeah, okay, I could see it. I think it's stupid. I really do. But if they go that route, I won't be too terribly disappointed, because that means Kylo Ren's actually more of a badass than he's letting on. He let Rey and Finn live at the end of that whole thing. I'd like to see that, because of how much they hyped Kylo Ren in the trailers and all the promotional stuff from the movie, that he should get a payoff. He should get his badass moments in the movie. I really hope he does. I'm looking forward to it. I want to see what happens with Luke in the next movie, and if he trains Rey and all of that stuff. I'm excited as shit. Anyway, taking it back to D&D. I'm running a Star Wars campaign for the third time. I'm not actually using the Star Wars Empire at War tabletop whatever gaming. We've actually just kind of taken to shoehorning force powers into D&D and essentially just making them work on the fly. Personally, I'm really not here for the gameplay. I'm here to try and write a good story for my friends to enjoy. That's what I'm trying to do with it. So the first Star Wars campaign we did, we started out with technically 5 characters. We lost 2 of them because they moved away, and then we gained another one, which brought us up to 4. So we managed to completely destroy Star Wars canon in our campaign. It flew out the window. I tried to preserve the canon as much as I could for the first couple of sessions, but then it just went completely off the rails. And you know what? Honestly, it was fucking awesome. one of our characters essentially became the new Sith Lord, and he punked Vader.